So as of now, as mostly our focus was onto the continuous wavelet transformation and further the introduction of discrete wavelet transformation, what exactly we have viewed as a sampled version of the continuous wavelet transformation, the thing that we have made in the previous topic, continuous versus discrete wavelet transformation here. So as we know that the discrete wavelet transformation can have the explicit representation instead of a concern with continuous wavelet transform as well. So here we can have a development of a wavelet theory without any dependence on the continuous wavelet transform also. Now if we compare this wavelet theory with the Fourier series from the Fourier family here, in these wavelets, here we are going to make use of a single function and carry out corresponding dilation operations and the translation operations for generating a set of orthonormal basis functions for representing a signal. So that is the basic motive here, and number of such functions are infinite and we can have choosing one of them that will better suit to our application at hand here. So fortunately there are two spatial functions that we can call to be the Haar wavelet functions and scaling functions. Here first of all I will be addressing the Haar scaling function that we have a representation in this particular slide along with the illustration also. So these two functions, Haar wavelet functions and Haar scaling function, as I have talked about, will have the explicit expression also. And for understanding the wavelet mathematical foundation with geometrical insights, the Haar wavelet system is the only option. That is why we have these Haar scaling functions and functional spaces discussion here on. So as we have the scaling function for the Haar wavelet here, especially we can call it to be a discrete Haar wavelet transformation here. The understanding of the relation between these two functions is really very important here. So let us have a consideration of first of all Haar scaling function. The Haar scaling function here we can denote with the help of the symbol phi of t here. And see, as this is the simplest wavelet here, it has the scaling function only the two values, either 1 or 0 here. So for getting the Haar scaling function value equal to 1, the condition is that the time parameter t, as we know that wavelet is a waveform with short time duration, so the t ranges between 0 to 1 here. So here we have t greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 1. So from 0 to 1 we will be having the amplitude level of the Haar scaling function equal to 1, and for rest of the cases we have that amplitude level to be equal to 0 here. So this is the simplest and the best explanation of what exactly the Haar scaling function is. It is denoted by psi of t here. So below is the illustration where we have plot of this particular value for the given range here. So if we have t as a time domain parameter on the horizontal axis, psi of t, the amplitude level marked onto the vertical axis here. So for this much of duration 0 to 1 we have the amplitude level 1, and for rest of the cases we have the amplitude 0 here, and also on the negative part we have the amplitude 0 here. Now what about the translations of the Haar scaling functions? Because see, the translation and further scalings of any basic function are important to understand the wavelet theory here. By making them we can have a matching with the original signal, and we will try to have the representation of the same information with the minimum number of the coefficients here. So here we have one illustration that will show you the translations of the Haar scaling function. So here we have phi of t on the vertical axis, whereas time as a parameter on the horizontal axis here. You can see what it was the amplitude 1 for the duration time duration 0 to 1, it has been shifted to 2 to 3. So that is why what it was simply I of t earlier. Here we have the representation I of t minus 2 here. So in general, if we have the amplitude level 1, 2 for k minus 1 to small k, so that we can represent as I of t minus k. So these corresponding representations in general we can call to be the translated versions of the Haar scaling function here. See, the domain of the function is simply 0 to 1, and we can note that this function is time limited and is having the finite energy here. So this is what the introduction to the Haar scaling functions and the function spaces. We have started learning what exactly the Haar wavelet transform is here.